Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Megaman 7. Now it's time to go after the last two Robot Masters, Springman as well and Shademan. So we're going to start off with Springman first. And, well, you know, I don't understand why the stage is pink, honestly. But if you guys have watched my Mega Man 11 playthrough, or have played the game yourself, you will see where the idea for Bounce Man kind of came, or at least the stage. So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of bouncing here. The other thing I find funny is, like, Springman's idea is just like, hey, I know how to make this blue robot of death be threatened. I'll color my stage pink. Or as the joke is, that it's salmon color. Which just basically is just a way for you to not have to say pink. But it doesn't work, really. But Springman's stage is kind of filled with what you'd think. I don't know why he has data of Mega Man in the background in some spots. But you got your spring enemies that kind of just flop back and forth. You know, like slinkies. And a lot of springing. If you hold the button down when you're bouncing off them, you'll jump higher. As long as you hold the jump button. But then you have situations where you'd rather stay on the top instead of the bottom. But, you know, that's just how it is. And there's also a special item that we can get in Springman's stage, but it's a little bit further up, so go ahead and bounce off of this, and up here, and I'm gonna need the rush adapter, the super adapter, whatever you call it, you know. I mean, it's technically called the super adapter, but I always called it the rush adapter for some reason. It's because I'm just trying to be different, but it's not that. But I'm pretty sure people call it the same, and I was not supposed to do that. If you're on these boxing platforms, if you jump on them, they'll change direction, like you just seen there. And in here we have Otto's Hyperbolt. Make sure to pick this up, because once you have this collected, and you go to the shop, Otto will half the price of everything in the shop. So anything, like all the stuff that costs 40 bolts will now only cost 20, and anything that's, so it'll be a lot cheaper, but I've grinded out a lot of bolts so I can buy stuff later. He'll also be able to create new items for you, but we've already collected a majority of those items, so it's not like it's going to be too detrimental if we don't have them, so yeah. But it is kind of cool that you can play the game like in a specific way, where if you don't want to hunt these items down, you can still get them from the shop, other than having to like grind out a crap ton of bolts. But hey, alright, let's continue on with Springman's stage. Got your regular Sniper Joes. Oh, we're already at the end. This is a very short stage. Now, Springman is weak to Slashman's weapon, which is why I enjoy using it, but I haven't used it all that much because it is very powerful, but I didn't want to run out. But it doesn't use all that much. Now, Springman, once you hit him, he'll jump to the center, shoot two springs at you, just slide out of the way, and that's the whole fight. It's just this back and forth. He is more dangerous if you're fighting him with just the Mega Buster, but at the same time, there's not really much of a point to it. But I still find it funny, like, these Robot Masters will break in half once you use their weakness. Which, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but at the same time, it's also kind of annoying, because, like, why do they break in half when this didn't happen before? But, now that Springman has been taken down, we shall collect his weapon, which is actually pretty good, especially for the final boss. The Wild Coil launches one coil forward and one coil backward, right? Yes, but remember to charge the coils to make them jump higher. They'll also jump higher if you hold the up button, but the game doesn't tell you this. So, yeah. If you ain't holding up, they're not going to jump as high as they should, and then when you fight their next Robot Master, you're just going to get yourself killed. But on to Shademan. Now, a fun thing with Shademan that I did not show off, because this is just my bad, is if you hold down the A button, you'll actually play a remix of the Ghosts and Goblins theme from the NES. But I decided not to show it off for this run because, personally, I don't have a problem with the Ghosts and Goblins theme. It is pretty good, but I do enjoy the regular music more myself, but that's just me. Now, Shade Man stage is basically your kind of haunted castle, something like Castlevania. You know, you got these weird enemies, and other than knowing where they are, I always get hit by those things. The only reason I didn't this time is because I memorized their placement, because I've been through the stage so many times trying to get it right and making mistakes. So getting hit by those enemies so many times, because there's no way to tell the difference. You just have to memorize their placement. But, you know, you got your batons. I mean, I believe they're called batons in this game, but I forget. But you got these crushing platforms, which are freaking annoying, and those spikes at the roof, so if you can't really jump too high or else you're gonna get crushed. And here we have a mini-boss. Now, this mini-boss you can kill in two different ways. You can either shoot the core, which I'm gonna go ahead and try to kill right now. I'm gonna use slash claw, because that actually kills this thing really quickly. You can kill the core, or you can go for the outer shell with the hitting the eyes. Either way you go will, depending on which way you choose, will make a different route throughout the stage. Now, if you kill the center core pumpkin, he will drop to the ground and create a hole. So if you go right through here, and real quick is there's going to be a lot of mistakes, but that's because I had to do this multiple times because I couldn't get Proto Man to appear. Because I've been putting in passwords, and putting in passwords basically means all of my, all of my sightings of Proto Man throughout the game never popped up. So it took me a while to realize this. So there's going to be a bit of mistakes here. So this is like a later fight. But Proto Man is fairly easy once you get his pattern down. He'll shoot 3 bullets at you unless you knock him out of it with a charge shot. And he will dash across the room once you hit him. He can sometimes charge up his buster to be fairly powerful. Like doing that. And then he'll jump across, shoot 2 bullets, and then just do a quick wave upward and down, which is a reference to when he would fight you back in Mega Man 3. Except he actually is more dangerous in this game and isn't just jumping around like an idiot. But even though Proto Man is pretty easy, I've actually had him actually kill me a few times, including in my first attempt on this, so this is actually my second attempt fighting him. But you do get a special prize once you do beat him. But just stay on top of it, charge your buster, and eventually he'll go down. Maybe you are the superior model Mega Man. Here, take this with you. This is your proto shield. You can't give this to me. It's okay. Take it. And watch your back. You get Proto Shield. Now, yeah, minor inconsistency, so I am sorry about that. But, well, once you get through that fight with Proto Man, you do get the Proto Shield, which I can't show off until the next episode because of how this was recorded, so I am sorry about that. But, let us go ahead and finish trekking through the bottom path. But I will be showing off the Proto Shield in the next episode, where we take on the Dr. Wily's Fortress and finish off the game. Now, in this area, you can use either the Thunderbolt to light up the area, or Scorch Wheel to light the candles, and giving you a much better view. But, if you decide to go after this place first, instead of, and you only have Thunderbolt, you still have an option to see, and I want to equip the Junk Shield. This is Danger Wrap. There we go. Now, Junk Shield is actually really helpful for this elevator ride, because these guys will just keep jumping at you, and the Junk Shield will just tear through them, so it's really helpful. I recommend waiting until, like, the very last minute that your Junk Shield will disappear, Unless you hit one of these spots, because you want to avoid the center window, which I was an idiot and didn't activate it in time. But eventually they'll have one bust out and just attack you. But Junk Shield is really helpful because once, like, it doesn't break when you're, like, bringing it in. But it's time to head off and take out the top part of him. Not the center. Watch. Yeah, you don't want to hit the center if you're going for the top. It won't mess it up. It just depends on which version you kill. So, like, say you have, say, one more hit against, like, the top one, but you kill the bottom. It doesn't matter. It's still going to go to... It's still going to take the bottom path. I want to recharge so I don't end up dead. There we go. And once you kill the outer core, he'll just slam right into the wall, creating a new path to the side. So let's head off and see what this path shows. Now, I have actually not been through this path in the longest time, but there's an extra life. I want it. Give it to me, Rush. Yeah! Nope. Also, you may have noticed me having a certain weapon in the pause screen, so, yeah. You may already know what the weapon is, but I did have it. And you have this wolf. Just let him jump over you and then just off-screen him. You don't really need to fight him, but I'm going to for some reason. Honestly, he reminds me of a certain character in a later Mega Man game, not in the classic series, but we'll see that character soon enough, and I'll probably bring up the reference. And if you go through the top path, you'll also find this picture of Dr.wily, which I believe there's supposed to be something under it if you use Rush Search. Let's go ahead and see. Rush, what you got for me? Absolutely nothing. Maybe I didn't have it in the right spot? No. Okay, let's try this again, but more in, like, the center. Okay, great, a banana peel. Thanks, Rush. Super helpful. You know, I love Rush, but, yeah. And that's where the paths connect, so back to the original. Darn! I was so careless. He actually says damn in the normal version. I feel so stupid I have been defeated so easily. Maybe I should give up and leave Wily to you. No, we are a team. Dr. Light will be glad to fix you up. Thanks. I'm glad that I have a friend like you. But time to switch over to the Wild Coil and take on Shade Man. But actually, in the normal version of Mega Man 7, or on the Virtual Console, depending on which one you get, he actually says damn, not darn. They had to change it when they made the Anniversary Collection. Now, Shade Man is very easy. Just charge up the Wild Coil and hold the up button so it'll jump high enough to hit him. He will try to grab you to suck out, like, your energy and refill his own, and that was not supposed to happen. He also does this eye laser, which can freeze you in stone, and then he uses his Noise Crush, which he'll launch back at him and make more powerful blasts. Which is, you know, what you get to do later. And what I was mentioning when you can kill Turbo Man. But Shade Man goes down with no real effort at all. It's not a crazy fight as long as you have energy tanks and keep an eye on your health. But now we're going to get Shade Man's weapon. That thankfully he showed off for me, because yeah. The Noise Crush generates a powerful sound wave, doesn't it? Yes, and you can amplify the wave by absorbing the reflected wave with your body. Which we saw Shade Man do. You get Noise Crush. Oh dear, what the heck happened here? Dr. Light, what happened? I've been gone for like 3 seconds. Is that you, Mega Man? Base went berserk after I completed his repairs. He stole the parts for the new enhancements. Which we already have. base? I can't believe it! Why does the TV keep turning on by itself? Ah! Believe it, Megaman. Base and treble are my creations! Dr.wily? I knew that you would be stupid enough to trust him and allow him access to the lab. Now Base and Treble will use the enhancements meant for you and Rush. Ha 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 ha. I'll make you pay, Willy. And we got a pass screen. Now, real quick, before I end off this episode, let us head off to the shop with more bad editing. And I may have done a little bit of grinding. Hey! That's my bolt. Thanks. It fits perfectly. Why was it in Springman stage? Seriously. And Otto likes to do his poses too. Now I can work at full power. Look, a new item just for you. I can now make items using half the normal number of bolts. Select the item you want made. And, well, like I mentioned back at Springman stage, because you have the Hyper Rocket Buster, which we already have, Rush Search, Rush Jet, and the S-Can. And I'm going to go ahead and just stock up on everything. Because, you know, having everything you need for the final castle is not as necessary as I am going. Like, seriously, you could probably go through the whole castle with, like, 4 energy tanks, a life or 2, and that's about it. Maybe a super and a weapon tank. Maybe just a weapon tank or a super tank. I don't think you really need both, or go as overboard as I currently am. But, you know, there is such a thing as being overprepared, and I would rather be overprepared than underprepared, because I suck at this game, but it's probably because I don't play it that often. So, let's go ahead and just grab our last few items. And, yeah. And this is also why I showed off that, the grinding you can do in Cloudsman stage, because if you don't get the Rocket Punch, and you need a way to get bolts and you can't find it, well, here's a good way. Or if you just choose not to use Rush Search and you just want to get items from Auto. So it is nice that they have a way for you to still get it if you're not a collector in the game. But at the same time, it also kind of comes down to, if you're not a collector, you're not going to get these items. Because I don't imagine speedrunner, like a speedrun, because personally I haven't speedrun this game and I haven't watched speedruns on it. But I don't really see how this would make much of a difference, because yeah, you're most likely going to get the rush adapter to make things easier on yourself, but at the same time, in a speedrun, say, where are you going to have the time to get 800 bolts? Like, seriously. But that's going to be the end of this episode, so I will see you guys in the next video. Later.